Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, our King's Competitions. We're here. David Haye. You're looking well, my friend. Nice backdrop behind you. How's things? How's your day going?
Not bad, not bad. Busy, lots going on, but yeah, all exciting stuff. Yeah, looking forward to Saturday. Nothing better than when you got the fight week for a fight that you don't know what's going to happen. It's not so many times you've got quite a strong opinion one way or another, but this is one of those fights where I believe in Itauma Moses. I believe that he is the goods. I'm just unsure whether he's got the goods to beat Dillian Whyte right now,
Mhm.
and it's the unknown. And looking how in shape uh, Dillian Whyte looked, I was like, okay, he's taking this fight seriously. He's gone back to the sort of Chisora 2 sort of physical where he just keeps going. He's got 12 rounds of dog in him, and he's going to be. He didn't look like he had 12 rounds in him in his the fight prior.
No.
His kind of comeback fight after the Tyson Fury fight. He didn't look like the old him. Physically, he looks it, but can he apply that in this fight?
Is this because I've had the same thoughts? You see him this week turn up and you're looking going, I hadn't seen this version of you since like Joseph Parker and years gone
Exactly.
by, the Chisora.
Yeah.
When you look at him like that, it does make you think about the years gone by and, if he can turn up and can put on I don't know, a vintage Dillian White and drag Moses into deep waters. Has that
Yeah.
swayed you a little bit in your mind? So you know the game.
Massively, yeah, massively, massively. In my mind, I was just thinking. Normally, you're as good as your last fight in boxing, they say. And his last fight, he looked terrible. He looked didn't. He looked. It was just. It wasn't a nice performance whatsoever. So I then look at both of the last fights. We got a young kid who's got five back-to-back spectacular knockout wins against a certain level,
Mhm.
respectfully, but against the Dylan's last fight, I prefer this action. I like what I'm seeing here, getting the Maris back out of there in one round, or 2 rounds. That's the type of performance I expect. That's what I was expecting from Dylan against the African fella he beat last time. Who shouldn't have been, competing, let alone landing big shots. So I'm off the strength of seeing what he's done behind, because you can't cheat. You don't put the rounds in the gym. You don't watch your diet. You can see it in your body when you take your top off. You can just see it. It's just obvious. He looks like he's paid the price. He looks like he knows this is his big one. This is his. It's kind of like, it sounds crazy, but if he can get through and win this fight in Riyadh season performances against the young up and coming hungry guy, he's now right back in the mix with all of the big heavyweights. He's
Mhm.
now right back there. His ranking will go right through the roof because Moses is our number one contender, I think, for the WBO. So he will take that. Thank you very much. And let me have my world title fight.
Obviously with Saudi, we see that sort of anything's possible, and we see Turkey. I think you put a tweet out, or you put something out about how we'd like to see maybe a Tama versus Usyk, and you're looking going, it's got Dillian White to deal with first, and
Yeah,
providing he gets through Dillian White, David, let's just play devil's advocate. I'm not writing either fighter. I think it's a good
yeah.
fight, but if he gets past Dillian White, say 4 or 5 rounds, has a good knockout, do you think that's the next step he has to be for an Usyk? Do you go that deep,
It
or do
it
you
it's it
how do you
solely
work it?
depends. It solely depends on how he performs against Dylan. If he comes out there and smokes Dylan in 2 rounds, the way he's been dealing with everyone else, I'd say, yeah, okay, who else is there to prove yourself against? But if he comes out there, has a big first blast for 3 or 4 rounds, runs out of steam round 8, gets dropped, comes up, holds on, and then wins a split decision controversial, no, I don't think it would be wiser in fighting Usyk. It
Mhm.
solely depends on how he performs against a world class fighter who we know is a world class fighter and is at the end of his career. We're not saying, it's not like it's a world class fighter of today. It's someone who 5 years ago or 3 years ago, he was world class, ready to fight, Tyson Fury for the heavyweight championship, and was waiting for years for that opportunity. He's been mandatory for longer than any other heavyweight I can ever think of.
He
So it's
was.
someone who's consistently been at the top of the world scene, but never won that title. And he's now coming to fight a kid who hasn't, literally a kid, 20 years old. He hasn't had the ups and downs. Dillian Whyte had a longer kickboxing career than the time he had a boxing career, and
He
he's
did.
been there, seen it, done it. He's got so much more experience, and that goes a long way. I found out a tough lesson in my 11th fight against Carl Thompson about fighting someone past their best, was world class at one stage, but now not. No, once you're world class, you've got that forever if you get yourself in the right shape. He's not going to forget all the lessons he's learned. He's obviously done it. He's done his sparring. He's paid the price because you can see it in his body. So he's coming. Moses wouldn't have fought anyone with the ferocity, intensity, and aggression he's going to be dealing with at all. Everyone's come as the lamb to the slaughter. Dillian isn't coming in as a number. He's coming in to shock everyone and show everyone what he's all about.
Let me ask you then: were you, when this fight got made, were you surprised? Because when you look at Dillian Whyte, forget the fact he will fight everyone, because I think he's proved that. But at this stage of his career, he has options on the table. When you look at Joseph Parker still wanting a fight, you don't know what's happening with Usyk. You look at Derek Chisora, you could sell a trilogy there more than likely. Dell's coming off a few good wins. And you assume he get paid well for them fights. Was there a surprise for you that he goes, I'll tell you what, young, hungry lion, yeah, let's do it?
No, because that's Dillian through and through. It's a fight that everyone says he doesn't need. Everyone, all the smart people, I would have said, mate, of all the people to have it's not the guy really. Going by what I've seen, maybe you could, but you don't look that great. But Dillian's that guy's like, what? 12 fights. I don't care. Who's he fought? Who has he fought? Okay, knocked out all these people, but who have they knocked out? What have they ever done? Nothing. So no, this is who I've knocked out. Joseph Parker, fucking Chisora. He's been in it, mixed it up with the best, and performed at the highest level. Yeah. And why would he be afraid of fighting someone with 12 fights? Makes no sense. I get it. I get why he's taking this fight. And not only he's taking this fight, it's for the mandatory position to the heavyweight championship of the world. It's like a no-brainer for him. It's an obvious one.
Let me ask you, David, as someone who's obviously been out the ring a while now, we're seeing a lot of people either come out of retirement or have some crazy call-outs. So I've got to ask you, is there anyone in your mind, in the comfort of retirement, with all the other things that you have going on, that could ever tempt you enough to say, you know what, I'll get up and do some running for you. I'll do the training. I'll get back in the ring. Is there anyone in the world right now who you think could entice you out of doing this?
Not right now, no. Not right now. Maybe in a few years. Give it 3 or 4 years, 5 years, 50. When I'm 50, I'll ever think about it.
When you're 50?
Yeah. I look after myself, don't worry.
But when you look at, obviously, I'm alluding to this, you've had Andre Ward, who's been out the ring how many years? And he says, look, that Anthony Joshua fight appeals. We do Wembley. Fair enough, you get paid for it. Obviously, there's a talk of Jake Paul, which a lot of people are, been negative of, but it's the world we live in. What do you make of all these call-outs of, obviously, Anthony Joshua has not been in the ring since Daniel Dubois? It's a strange time.
I like the Jake Paul fight. I think that's great if they can make that happen on a boatload of show, and it gives a lot of the fans what they want to see. A lot of people have wanted someone to shut up Jake Paul. A lot of the boxing purists really don't like the attention he gets, the money he earns, but he's generating that money himself because he is who he is, and he's proven it time and time again. He's increasing the level of opposition. Julius Caesar Chavez Jr. a few years ago was technically a world champion, so he's beat a former boxing world champion, although it was at middleweight or sub-middleweight. Irrespective, he's a cruiserweight, and he's now thinking, I want to go up to heavyweight and fight a 2-time heavyweight champion who's 37, 38. If he believes he can do it, I'll watch it. Believe me, I'll watch it.
You're just on about yourself there. What if Jake Paul wanted the haymaker?
I said, give him a few years. Let me slow down a bit. Let me give everyone a chance.
You're going to wait till you hit the big 5-0 and then say, look, anyone who wants to move.
So 5-0, then I'll start calling people out.
Last one on the heavyweights, I want to ask. Tyson Fury, currently in retirement, says he's going to come back out. Then he's obviously put himself back, saying he's never fighting again. Do we see him next year? And are you interested in seeing him come back and have a trilogy with Usyk?
No, not at all. Couldn't think of anything worse. What I'd like to see is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Yeah, that's the fight that I've wanted to see for a long, long time, and both fighters are now coming off losses. I think it's a perfect opportunity. I think it's a perfect opportunity for both of them to set the record straight, and they can both earn a hell of a lot of money out of it as well. And they can prove, why wouldn't both of them just want that fight? I don't get it. I thought they'd be both battling to get that fight over the line. The fight they both think they can win, so why not just do it?
Are you surprised that hasn't gone any further? Obviously, Fury's had the two with Usyk. Joshua's coming
Yeah,
off
I
a
don't.
loss. You just make it, would you not?
Yeah, so yeah, just make the fight while people still care. You know,
Hmm.
people. No one cares that they lost. No one cares AJ lost. No one cares Tyson lost. No one's saying they're the best in the world. Usyk's the best in the world. It's just okay. They could that they can make an argument for second place or whatever. You know, but fighting each other is they've got to do it. There doesn't need to be a title on the line. No title needs to be on the line. Just a ring, 12 rounds. Who's better out of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? I'd like to know.
Who do you think?
Depends what version of them turns up. If the version of Tyson Fury turns up who beat or just competed with Usyk, that's a good version of Tyson Fury. It's one of the best versions of Tyson Fury. If AJ, second fight with, I know no one liked that fight because he didn't get the guy going, but he stuck to a game plan. His second fight with Andy Ruiz,
Yeah,
he really showed he can stick to a game plan. Although it was a boring game plan, but it was a winning game plan.
it
If
was a
he can
whitewash.
formulate a winning game plan, again, he has the capabilities physically to do that to beat Tyson Fury. I can see him doing that, or I can see AJ just, I don't know, if he did what he did against uh, Dubois, where he's kind of in the middle ground and not, he will have a nightmare. He won't be good for him. So he needs to he needs to Anthony Joshua to become victorious in a fight against Tyson Fury will have to have a solid game plan, and he'll have to have some tough sparring to prepare himself for the fight that he'll have to have.
Last
That's what
two,
I'd say. Yeah.
last two, just from me, mate. Alexander Usyk. Who gives him his best challenge? Is there anyone out there now you say, you know what, he's
The
a
only
good
the only
challenge?
person the only person genuinely right now you can say okay by looking at their performances recently and when they fought each other is Derek Chisora. He's had the best
Yeah.
shot at Usyk. He's pushed him. He won more rounds than anyone else run. And it's like okay, and he's coming off like some good victories. So I think yeah, why not? It'd be did it surprise Usyk in his I think it's his second heavyweight fight. The
It was.
Witherspoon was his first one. So in his second heavyweight fight, maybe he was just getting acclimated to the heavyweight waters. I don't know, maybe, or maybe Derek's just got that style that he hates.
Mm.
You know, Derek's got a style that I hate in terms of fighting against. I don't like fighting against people like Derek because he
No?
makes you fight every fucking second. It's a fucking nightmare. It's really exhausting. And
Yeah.
Usyk wasn't prepared for that, and he scraped through. But since then, he seemed to have got more comfortable with it. He dealt with, but that, everyone else tried to box him long. No
Hmm.
one actually put it on him like Chisora did. So I think the only person who's got a shot, I think, right now is Derek. Right now,
But
the best chance. We're talking about the best chance of victory
yes,
based on what he's done and what I know. That'd be it.
last one. We've got a huge fight coming up. Canelo versus Crawford. A weight jump, but two elite level fighters going head to head in Las Vegas. David, can Terence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez? And what do you think happens?
Yeah, Terence could be anybody. Yeah, Terence has the ability to beat anybody. He's got the toughness, the mindset, the experience. He's had no easy fights. He hasn't had the limelight like Canelo. He hasn't had the massive pay-per-view paydays that Canelo has. But Canelo has had a lot of training camps, had a lot of sparring, has a lot of rounds against very, very good opposition. So Terence, it feels like he's got a lot more miles on the clock of the two. Um, and when I've seen them next to each other, I was assuming incorrectly that Crawford would be a lot smaller.
No.
But when I saw them next to each other, they're the same size. I'm like, is Canelo just super small for a light heavyweight, super middleweight, which he was done, they're undisputed champion at super middleweight. It beat
Yeah.
Kovalev at light heavyweight, and obviously, and then lost to Bivol. But he didn't get bashed up by Bivol. He just lost a technical. It was he just lost the fight.
Just
He
lost.
didn't
He
get
just
beat up,
lost.
and
Yeah.
he just lost. He just lost against a much bigger man. And I remember the size. I thought the size difference between Canelo and Bivol would be similar to how Canelo and Crawford is, and it ain't whatsoever. And once I realised that, I'm like, okay, so if they are the same size, Crawford's got like it's not a foregone conclusion that
Mm-hmm.
Canelo's going to win this fight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very very interesting. I think Crawford's definitely got a chance. That just when it first got announced, I thought it was too small. I thought it was just too small until I seen the reality of it. But can Crawford fight at 12 round pace with that additional
Yeah.
15 pounds on? That's the thing. Is one thing looking that big, but can you perform at
Yeah.
that weight? You know, you
Yeah.
don't have now because obviously, if he's as big as he is and he's been fighting at such a low weight, he's been so much bigger and stronger than naturally than his opponents. His strength will show, but that was a strength of a super middleweight,
Yeah.
potentially drained down. So if he's now coming up, that mad strength that he had at the lower weights might not translate against Canelo. So
Mm-hmm.
there's loads of different angles, loads of different ways to look at it. But it's hard. I can't really pick him. I can't really pick him. I think he's got a massive shot, and I wouldn't be surprised if he found a way to win. But I'm also a massive Canelo fan, so the fact that he's
Yeah.
always fought the toughest guys, always gone up in weight, giving away advice, it's beautiful. As I've really enjoyed his career, been really, really. I've seen him live, and it's like, yeah, it's just like a full on professional. So it's like I've got two of my favorite fighters about to go out with each other, and I'm like, I don't want to sound disrespectful, saying one's going to beat the other one, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
because they've both got the capabilities. They're both the best in the world, just at different weights. But one's giving away a load of weight, giving away, and that you know, is one's giving away. One might not be giving away technically weight, but he's giving away experience at a
At the
bigger
way.
weight
Yeah.
category. Yeah, and I think that might sway into Canelo's favour slightly, but he's then got more miles on the clock. So Crawford's fresher and he's more motivated because it's the biggest thing that Crawford's ever done. But Canelo has done 20 fights bigger than this,
Yeah. Yeah.
numbers wise, in terms of hype.
Yeah.
This is like this is a true tradesman's the boxing trade. If you love boxing, this is the best fight you could be. But there's lots of people outside that who would prefer to see Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. It's
Yeah.
crazy. The numbers for that will be significantly more bigger than the numbers of this. It's mental, but it's just his eyeballs, and it doesn't really matter where the eyeballs come from as long as they're coming in and paying the pay per view.
Absolutely. David, look, I appreciate you giving me a breakdown of all that. And thank you for giving me your time. Hopefully we can catch up again. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, mate. Look forward to it. Catch you soon, mate.